purpose of the video conference is to participating with another school or college where they don't have to be at the same building as us, which it's how in the future if you want to talk to experts or anyone that have a lot of knowledge about the subject you're doing, instead of traveling around to the place, and that saves a lot of money. The video conference we did was with Shrewsbury Secondary School about Greek theatre and Homer the Odyssey. We asked both, we did activity together. They have a handout that Sean already sent.
Mix of classical analysation of the Medea and the Odyssey, but then we also, there were year 10s who'd been studying the Odyssey, but sort of slightly lower. So they looked at the book, and we'd looked at far more in depth.
It was nice. We got to discuss things with them. It was quite interesting. Had almost a conversation going on sometimes, which is very sort of quite natural.
And then there was brief points where we would kind of pause the sound, we turn the sound off.
Yeah.
And then we'd do sort of questions, and then we would come back to see what they'd come up with.
Yeah,
and it was interesting to see.
Yeah, compare the answers that we did.
That we were quite similar when it came to discussing who would play Medea in the play, and we both agreed on Helena bonham Carter. It was quite interesting.
Yeah, the mad lady.
For Civilization last year, we did a video conference with a school in Ireland, and we discussed the texts we've been studying. We studied 2 different texts by the same person, and we compared and looked at the different themes and the different characters and how they related to modern day, didn't we?
Yes, we did. The text we were studying was the Odyssey, and the text they were studying was the Iliad, both by Homer. And we discussed mainly the main themes being heroism, and then we discussed the characters such as Odysseus and
Achilles. Experience.
It was good to see their perspective on things as well.
Yeah, we get
different text.
different views.
Yes.
I took part in the Wolverhampton conference where we spoke to 2 representatives about interviews. But it was quite good because I had an interview with a university yesterday, and it was nice because I knew what to say. They told me what to say and what not to say and when to say it. They also told me to read over my personal statement before I got there, which I remembered to do, and that helped me because otherwise I wouldn't have remembered anything that I actually said.
It's interesting because you get to see what other people thought, but it's also good because you can talk to like pupils that are far away and actually sometimes they don't have the ability to come see you, so you can talk about things, and then you can also talk to like maybe some professor of classics about things if they were available.
I think the strengths are that you are able to talk to people who you wouldn't be able to otherwise talk to. I wouldn't have ever spoken to those people at the Wolverhampton University, but I could quite easily there. The link was fine, we got to talk to them, you could understand everything that they said, and it was great because you got advice from people who are otherwise out of your reach. Maybe actually getting it set up, making sure that the link works, technology isn't flawless, and maybe preparing yourself properly, as in thinking of questions and actually listening to their answers and taking notes. I didn't think to do that.
We did have some technical difficulties setting it up. We had issues because they weren't familiar with the technology, were they? They didn't have the microphone switched on, and then they blamed us. There was a lot of issues, and we had to keep calling them because they couldn't get it. But I think it would have been. I think if it starts to get introduced more, I think as schools learn it, it'd be much smoother.
And more practice, it'll become swift.
Yeah, definitely. It was a good experience.
Yeah, and I'd definitely do it again.
Yeah, definitely.